Good day, yogis. This is Stephen Jang coming to you live from Simha Yoga Lab in Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule, as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. My preferred way of payment is Venmo, and my handle is Simha Yoga Lab, and the 4-digit ID code, if you're prompted for it, is 8096. Classes are $10, and if you're having a difficult time right now, $5 is fine. Please do the best you can. So I stream on Instagram and on Facebook, and the videos are then saved onto the archives of the postings, right, on the two platforms. I also then take the same video and upload it to my YouTube channel, which is Simha Yoga Lab. And so if your Instagram and your Facebook, whether you're streaming or your videos on those two platforms are a little bit shaky, right? You can always go to my YouTube channel. The audio and video is much better on that platform. So if you're not streaming with me especially, right, and you're taking classes anytime throughout the day, you can always go to YouTube. YouTube is the best place for you to go. You can also pull up the videos onto your smart TVs, right? So that's a much better visual experience for your practice as well. So I highly recommend that. Unless you really like your Instagram and your Facebook, then you can stay there, right? No problem. But for a much better experience, it's your YouTube. Today's class is basics, and we're working with a much more fundamentals of yoga practice. It's a little bit slower, a little bit more mellow, and we're working with more basic poses with alignment. If you happen to have blocks, blankets, or a strap, please have them near you. If you don't have blocks, you can always use books, or you can use perhaps maybe even a water bottle if you have one that's nice and sturdy, and you might be able to use it as a support structure. You might not be able to use it for everything, right? But at least for like a half moon, something like that, you can use a water bottle. If you have equally thick books, pretty sturdy, you can pretend that they are blocks, right? So you can use all of those things. Blankets and towels are useful for padding, so have them near you. For those of you who are new to my practice, welcome. If you're working with any special conditions or injuries or other limitations, right, be mindful to always be safe and pull back on your poses if I'm going a little bit out of your range, especially if you're working with an injury, right? So please be safe. Make some good decisions about what is appropriate and what is not appropriate for your body. I'll give you lots of options, right, between modifications to make things easier and variations to make things a little bit more challenging or a little bit more different, so that you can have a different experience. Okay, for those of you with tight hips, tight lower back, I recommend elevation, sitting up on a block, a blanket, or a towel. This will make your cross-legged position a lot more accessible. Palms face up, fingers come to Jnana Mudra, thumb and index fingers touching, the other fingers are extended. Palms are facing up, resting on top of your knees, elbows alongside the ribs, let the shoulders release, eyes are closed, and let's start to center the breath. Deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Through the breath, let the mind start to quiet. Let the inhales even out with your exhales. Three arms together, inhale. Keeping the eyes closed, hands together in prayer of the heart. Pressing the thumbs into your heart, heart back into the thumbs. Lifting the heart up toward the sky. Setting your intention for your yoga practice. devoting the practice to someone or something, or to yourself, your supreme self that lives within your heart. Chanting the mantra of purification, purifying the space in which we practice yoga. Call a response, I will call it, and repeat the response with you. Om Pavitraha, Om Pavitraha, Pavitrawa, Pavitrawa, Sarva Vashtan, Gato Bewa, Yaha Smarit, Budrikaksham, Sapahya, Bihyandraha, Suchihi. Starting to open the eyes and let the palms face up, fingers come back to Jnana Mudra. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, right ear to the right shoulder, right hand to the left side, elongating through the left side of the neck. And take the chin toward the right shoulder. Release back to center, drop the right hand, left ear to the left shoulder, left hand to the right side. Chin toward the left shoulder. Release back to center, drop the left hand, chin toward the chest. Big circles with the head in one direction. Ear to one side, roll it back. Opposite side, roll the center. Take a few more rounds in that same direction. Chin back to center again, pause. Opposite direction. And back to center again. Lift the chin parallel to the floor and neutral spine. Coming off your blocks, extend the legs forward, separating your feet. Hands are to either side and turn your toes toward each other, and then roll out. Draw in, roll out, draw in, outer rotation, circling the ankles. Take it back to center, switch them around. Back to center again. Cross your shins, opposite shin on top. Raise the arms high, extend. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to left. Back to center again. Side bends, right hand down, left arm overhead. Take it back up, other side. Back to center again, legs forward, forward fold. Take it back up, soles of feet together, knees apart. Grabbing the ankles, inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Now for those of you who are having a difficult time here, right? Where your hips are not very open, lower back not open, and to even draw the heels in might be difficult to fold forward. You might want to sit up on a block, or this time, I'll sit up on a blanket just to show you what that looks like. Right, so with your elevation, it just helps you to reduce the requirement for openness in the hips. To sit up tall in this position, to lean forward. Also, this elevation helps you to tilt forward, right? It makes the pose a lot easier for you to take when you are elevated. So this is especially true, right, for those of you with tighter hips, where when you sit down in this way, right, maybe your hips and your lower back so tight, you can't go any further than this, right? So then to ask you to go like this is quite difficult. If that is the case, elevate, right? Alright, come back up. Extend the left leg forward. Seated spinal twist, half variation. So the left leg fully extended, Engage your left leg by flexing the foot, pointing the toes up toward the sky. And then step the right leg over. Try to keep the right foot flat if you can. And then right hand behind you, lengthen, reach your left arm up and twist to the right. So the same thing applies here, right? If this seated position is difficult, elevate. Now, if the arm, the elbow to top of the right leg is difficult, and it forces you to round, and this is where you are, that's not what we want. You can wrap the arm around the knee, or you can take the hand around the knee. Most important is to ground evenly through your seat with a vertical lengthy spine, supporting with your right hand to twist to the right. Right? So you can take the hand to the knee, arm to the knee, or elbow to the knee, to the leg. Alright, take it back to center, counter twist to the left, switch sides. Alright, so right leg extended, flex your right foot to support the back of the leg. Left leg over, make sure you step the left foot flat to the floor for support. Left hand behind you, right arm up, inhale lengthen, exhale twist to left, elbow to the leg, arm to the leg, or hand to the leg to twist. Right? So you're now taking elevation. Inhale back to center. Exhale, counter twist to the right. Back to center again. Forward fold. Now let's everyone bend the knees in this forward fold this time. Flex your feet. Right? With the knees bent, it's going to require less of your hamstrings, right? So if you have tight hamstrings, reaching forward, again, tight hamstrings, tight hips, tight lower back, you're going to end up like this, which is not what we want. So by bending the knees, it will reduce the hamstring pull. Grab the outer edges of your feet, of your legs, I mean. Inhale, lengthen. Keep that lengthiness of the spine. Hinge forward by leading with your heart center forward. So this will give you the beginning of a really nice lower back stretch as you keep the integrity of your spine. Right? If that's a little bit too easy, move your heels forward. Re-lengthen. Take it further forward. So already you should start to feel like, I'm beginning to feel the lower back stretch without rounding the spine. That is most beneficial. And then of course, if you have the forward fold with the legs extended, you can take it there now. Alright, so if you have a strap, take the strap. If you don't have a strap, a fabric belt or a towel is nice. Of course you can use a leather belt, right? But since you're going to be kind of rough with it, right? I wouldn't use an expensive belt because you don't want to scratch it and stuff like that. So if you have a leather belt that's kind of casual and you don't care that much about it, right? It's fine, use a belt. Or use a towel. Okay, so if you have something to work with now, you're going to take Kranchasana. Take the hands to the strap on your belt. Now, keep it pretty close first, right? And keep the left knee bent. Lean back a little bit so you can pick up the foot. Extend the leg forward. Now, if you're able to, start extending the leg fully. If you can extend the leg fully and keep it really close with your hands to your foot, fantastic. However, as you extend, if you feel like, too tight, then you can release some of that strap, right? By letting it go a little bit, you're actually extending the arms, right? So you can keep the contact with the fully extended leg. Right? So this is how you can use your strap to assist you in taking Kranchasana with the leg lifted and fully extended. Right? Again, starting here with the straps really short, lift the heel, extend the leg the best you can. If you can keep it really close, fantastic. If not, let go of some strap. Right? And so the more strap you let go and you extend the leg, the lower your leg is going to be, right? So just make sure you give yourself enough resistance so that you can work on lengthening that leg and working on the hamstring flexibility. All right, start to release your left leg. Release your straps. Let's neutralize your spine by twisting to the left. Back to center, twisting to the right. Back to center, hand support slightly behind you. Lift your chest, broaden your shoulders, gently looking up, taking you into back bend. And release that action, second side. So take your strap, your towel or your blanket, bend your right knee. Wrap the strap around the foot, stay close first. Lift the foot, lean back, and start to extend the leg. So now when you lean back, you're not leaning that far back. It's just a little bit so that it helps you to counterbalance for the right leg reaching forward. Now also try not to immediately go into the rounding. Always think about sitting up tall, right? So as you extend the leg out, if you need to release some of that strap, take it. Right? So you want to keep the right leg extended, you want to keep your arms fully extended as you reach forward, working on the hamstrings. Now if you've released too much, then restart, right? Bend your knee, grab close to this foot. Extend as much as you need. So what you release on your strap is basically an extension of your arms. So you want that help as you need it, but you don't want it to be so easy that you end up here, right? And you're really not doing anything for the hamstring stretch. You want to go here and reach out. And start to release. Let's take that neutralization. This time we'll twist to the right first. Back to center. Twist to your left. Back to center. This time we'll take the hands further back, and then we'll also rotate the fingertips outwardly. And then with your hands slightly further back, lift the chest, broaden your shoulders, gaze upwards. Notice that you're leaning back a little bit more. And with your hands rotated outwardly, you might feel like the shoulders are rotating to also open it a little bit more. So those are just different degrees of rotation, so you have a different back bending, heart opening experience. And start to release. Let's come back to the strap again. This time we'll take a twist. Right? So bend the left knee, grab the foot with your straps, extend. Then take the straps together and grab closer to the foot, right? Sitting up tall. Keep the gaze looking forward so you can keep track of what that left leg is doing. Now, if you don't want to extend the left leg, you can keep the left knee bent. But since you have a strap, I recommend trying to extend. And then release as much of the strap as you need to extend your arm and fully extend the left leg. And then keeping track of that front leg, it should be lined up with the hip. Extend the left arm out and reach it behind you. So you want to keep the gaze looking forward, because if you start looking back, the leg travels and you don't even see that it's traveling, right? So you don't want the leg to travel. You want it to be lined up. The rotation can happen without you looking, right? Once you have your fullest rotation, you feel pretty steady. If you want to look back, you can now look back. Start to release, come back to center, release your strap. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. So either with your legs extended, grabbing your feet, or bend the knees, grabbing your shins, and work here. Right? So the same will be true for you to take this forward fold every time, however you like to take this, right? If this is more efficient for you because you have tight hamstrings, lower back, and hips, and this gives you the best lower back stretch, then this is where you want to start. And then eventually getting a little bit further forward. Alright, come back up, second side. Grab your straps again. Bend your right knee. Wrap the strap around the foot. Right? So you might want to start with 2 hands first, extend. Then switch it to one hand. Either keep the right knee bent, extending forward, or extend the right leg, sitting up tall. Release as much of the strap as you need. Then, keeping gaze looking forward, the heel lines up with the right hip, straight forward. You can rotate your right arm back. Right? So again, rotation can happen without you looking back. But more important is to keep the alignment of the front leg. Now once you're nice and stable, you have your deepest twist, you may look back behind you. Release, take it back to center again. Remove your straps. This time, let's walk your forearms down to the floor behind you. Right? Lift the chest. Gently let the head draw back. This is your modified fish pose. And lift the head, release your arms out to either side, and lower onto your back. Step the feet in. Feet are separated about hips width with your fingertips. Feel for the back of the heels, measuring out for your bridge pose. Press your heels down, press your arms down, lift the seat away from the floor, and start to roll up to the top of the shoulders, shoulder blades. Now, once you are up, you have a choice. Keep your palms flat, arms alongside, or interlace your fingers and take a fist, and then walk your shoulders in. So you should be pressing to the back of the head, the outer shoulders, outer arms, and the heels. Right, that's your bridge pose. Start to release, lower all the way down to the floor. Hug the knees in. Alright, come back to your straps again. Step the right foot down, keep the knee bent. Okay, strap, belt, or towel. Take the foot again, extend the legs straight up. Alright, then with your left hand, reach to grab the strap as short as you can with the leg extended. Right arm out to the side. Extend the right leg all the way out to the floor. Then gently open up the left leg to the left side. Now open only as far forward as you can keep the right side planted to the floor. Alright, so as you move to the left, your right side is going to want to come away from the floor. You're going to try to keep it as flat as you can as you move your left leg out to the left side as wide as you can. Alright, if that's really difficult for the leg to be fully extended, of course you can bend your left knee. Alright, take it all the way back up. We're going to keep that, but switch arms. So start with your left knee bent. Grab the strap as close to the foot as possible. Reach your left arm out to the side. Extend the left leg up. Release as much strap as you need for the full extension of the leg. If that's really uncomfortable, then keep the left knee bent. That is okay. Right leg stays extended. You're going to start to roll to the outside of the right hip, right leg, as you roll the left leg over to the right side. Go slow. Keep the left arm, left shoulder blades planted to the floor as you rotate to the right. Again, you can keep the left knee bent if that works better for you. Bend your left knee and roll it back to center. Now, the reason why I ask you to bend your left knee to roll back to center is because if your leg is fully extended and you're already in a weakened state because you have a weak lower back or a tight lower back, right? It's going to be really hard to lift the left leg back up in a full extension, right? That's the reason why you bend the left knee first, and then you go back to center. It makes it a lot easier. All right, bend your left knee, step the left foot down to the floor, draw the right knee in. Take the strap to the right foot and fully extend. All right, so you want to grab the foot as close as you can with the strap. Extend the right leg if you can. Extend the left leg all the way out to the floor. Left arm, left shoulder blade stays planted as you slowly move the right leg over to the right side and open it up. Try to keep the left side as planted to the floor as possible. Use that as your leverage and weight. Right, so keep in mind the strap is an extension of your arms. If these posts are tight and it forces you to bend, right, by extending the arm using the straps, you might be able to fully extend the leg as well. All right, start to draw back up to center. Switch arms. Left hand to grab the right foot. Right arm out to the side. And then slowly rotate to the left. If you need to keep the bend the right knee a little bit, take it. Alright, so for me, I rolled a little bit too fast over to the left side. It forced my right side to come up, right? In order for me not to throw the weight too far down. So, once I moved out to the side, to the left side, and I have my left arm supporting, now I can realign by pressing my right shoulder, right arm back down to the floor. Alright, let's break. So bend your right knee first. Then roll it back to center. It makes it a lot easier. Release your straps. Hug both knees in. Hug the knees in and stretch your lower back. Bring your body back into a left and right symmetry. And then let's take that to a happy baby. Thread your arms through your inner knees and grab the outer feet. Let the feet and the knees go wide. Then as you press your heels up with your legs, pull down with your hands. So there's an oppositional energy between your legs and your arms. Go ahead and release your legs. Keep the knees drawn in and then roll forward to a seated position. And then swing the legs back behind you. Coming to your hands and your knees. Walk your right foot back, tuck the toes under, and press your right heel back in space. Switch legs. Right knee comes down, left leg goes back, and then press your way back through your left heel. Take the left knee back down, tuck the toes under. Down dog, lift the knees, walk it out side to side. Alright, come back to the stillness in the down dog. Your hands about shoulders width. Either your middle fingers or your index fingers point straight forward. Press into your fingertips, finger knuckles, and the pads of the hands. But be as light as you can on your wrists. Right, so you want to share the work through your fingers and not just press directly into your wrist and bear all the way there. Alright, heels are reaching down, but you're not actually touching the heels down to the floor, so that there's always a little bit of weight to draw back to press the heels down toward the floor. On the inhale, raise your right leg up, three-legged dog, extend, then bend your right knee, step the right foot forward, back heel comes down. For warrior one. Take the left hand to grab the right wrist, so the left palm face upwards, and then connect the index finger and the thumb to your right wrist. Pull with your left hand to extend the right side, and then side bending to your left. Actively pull with your left hand to get lengthier through your right side. Take it back up to center, switch hands. Right palm face up. Connect your index finger and your thumb to your left wrist. Pull upwards and then side bend to the right. So this is the left side stretch as you side bend to the right. Inhale, take it back to center, arms up, cactus the arms, palms are facing forward. Draw the arms in toward each other, which spreads your upper back. Inhale, draw the arms out, which now spreads the chest, engages your upper back. Draw the arms in. Inhale, open. Exhale, draw the arms in. Inhale, open. Stay here. Then reach your fingertips forward and down. And then wrap the left arm back behind you, wrap the right arm back behind you, so you're grabbing opposite elbows. Once you have that, broaden your shoulders. By drawing your shoulders open, press your forearms to your lower mid-back for support, lift the heart center up and gently look upwards. So this is your modification of an ecstatic warrior. Come back to vertical. Raising arms up, warrior one. Arms alongside the ears, palms are facing each other. Now, if your arms going straight up alongside the ears, alongside the head, it's difficult for you, right? Your shoulders are tight. You can always move the arms forward, and then even easier will be moving arms out in a wide position. So if your shoulders are really tight, like if you have frozen shoulders, right? Or cement shoulders, I think they're called. Which means that you cannot raise your arms over your head like this, right? Then you raise your arms as high as you can so that you feel some work to your shoulders. And then in time, your arms go higher and higher. In time, your arms get closer and closer. And then eventually, arms overhead. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Keep the right toes pointing forward. Right knee lines up directly over the heel. Arms in parallel, warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands to the floor. Right foot stepping back. And lower all the way down to the belly. Hands alongside the rib cage. Progressive cobras. On the inhale, lift the upper back. So you're pressing your belly and your lower ribs to the floor. Elbows alongside the ribs as you draw the heart to open. Exhale, lower arms all the way down to the floor so you're still hovering. Inhale, lift up a little higher. So this time your belly and your ribs are away from the floor. Still broadening your chest, still engaging your upper back. Exhale, lower arms all the way down to the floor. Inhale, lift up even higher. Maybe full arm extension. Perhaps, if that's not available, bending the elbows a little bit. But you are at the highest point in your cobra pose. Your thighs on the floor, taking it back. And take it all the way back down and press it back into child's pose. Stretching your lower back, now coming into a forward fold as a counterbalance to your back bending. Inhale, take it back, down dog, lift it up. Inhale, left heel up to sky, three-legged dog. Step the left foot forward, back heel comes down, warrior one. So when you come up, left toes point straight forward, which means the inside of the foot is parallel to the side of the mat. Bend the left knee to lunge over the heel, vertical line. Back heel grounding to the floor, square forward, arms up high. So let's side bend again. Right hand to grab the left wrist, extend up and side bending to the right. So when you side bend to the right, it is a left side stretch. Take it back to center, switch hands, pull up, side bend to your left. Back to center again, cactus your arms, palms face forward, bending at the elbows, your arms are 90 degrees. Draw the arms in toward each other. This expands the upper back and contracts the pectorals, the front. Inhale, draw the arms open. So this is the opposite. Expands the pectorals, engages the upper back. Draw the arms in toward each other. Inhale, open. Draw the arms in toward each other. Inhale, open. Stay here. And reaching your fingertips forwards and downwards. Wrap the right arm back behind you first this time. Wrap the left arm over. So this time, it's the non-dominant wrapping of your arms back behind you. Broaden your chest, press your forearms to your mid and your lower back for support as you lift the heart up, gaze upwards for your back bend. So this is supported ecstatic warrior. Release, come back. Warrior 1. Open it up, warrior 2. Arms are parallel to the floor, fingertips reaching in opposite directions. Left knee still lining up over the heel. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior, left arm up and back. Exhale, hands to the floor. Left foot stepping back plank, lower all the way down to the belly. Alright, inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Stay there, elbows alongside the ribs. Press into your hands. Lift up a little higher, so your belly and your lower ribs away from the floor. Press into your hands. Lift up even higher. Bhujangasana, cobra. Full extension of your arms, or the slightest bend as you need. And release, child's pose. Seat toward the heels once again. Take it back up, down dog. Inhale, raise your right leg up, three-legged dog. Step the right foot forward, left knee comes down, crescent moon. Now, if your left knee is strong and you don't have very sensitive knees and you can keep it here, take it here. If you need a blanket or a towel for cushioning to your left knee, start working on that. If you don't have any kind of padding as a prop, you can take your mat. Left side, folding towards center, will double up your mat, giving you a little bit more cushioning. So those are very good options. Take whatever is appropriate. Alright, so stepping the right foot down as you lunge your hips forward, right? Once you get to your deepest lunge, you want to end up with the right knee directly over the right heel, vertical line. Hips moving forward for the quad stretch. Press your hands to top of the thighs. As you then draw the upper torso back, think about your belly working away from your thighs as well. And then you should naturally start to look up slightly. And once you have it there, you can keep your hands supporting. Or if you're ready, take the arms up for Venus Mudra, index fingers pointing up, interlacing the other fingers as you take it up and back. So again, if your arms alongside the ears is very tight for your shoulders, you can go straight up. Go forward with your Venus Mudra. If you want to separate your hands, right, you can go here, you can go here, you can go here. So you have many options. Look for the one that is most appropriate, right? So we want to work progressively with flexibility. If this is where you are today, that's great. Maybe next time you go a little more. Maybe that time after that. So eventually getting further and further back. Two more breaths. Right, so raising the arms up is rather difficult for you to balance, and take the hands to top the thighs. And just lean forward, right, and get the benefits of that quad stretch into the hip opener. All right, let's break. Hands to the side of the foot. Now this is where your blocks come in. If you have two blocks or two sturdy books, taking pyramid, your blocks or your structures go to either side of your right foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and lengthen over the right leg. So you're looking for the hamstring stretch. If you're less flexible, you're probably going to have to use the highest setting to your structure, right? Or, if you have blocks and you can lower it, it could be like this, it could be like this, right? Let's say you don't have any props. How do you take this pose? You take it with the knee bent a little bit. With the knee slightly bent, you're not requiring so much work from your hamstrings, and then work on folding there. At least you can get the lower back stretch and the hip opening, and not so much with the hamstrings. But of course, if you can apply all of those together, hamstring stretch, hip opening, and forward fold for the lower back, take it all there. This is your pyramid. All right, let's twist. Bend your right knee. Line up the right knee over the right heel. Left hand is about a foot apart from the right foot. Left shoulder over your left wrist. Keep all that vertical line and the distance between the hand and the foot, and raise your right arm up for the twist. Right hand comes back down, left heel draws down, warrior one. Take the arms up high. Open it up, warrior two. Reverse warrior, right arm up and back, side angle. Now, the full expression of the pose is the right hand to the floor. It demands a lot of hip flexibility and lower back, right? So if you don't have that there, you can elevate by taking the arm to top of left, right leg, right arm to right leg. And then left arm up. This is just side angle in a modified position. So this is a lot easier for your hips and lower back. If you can touch down to the floor, take it to the floor. Extended side angle. Let the left palm face down and reach forward. Left side stretch. Inhale, take it all the way back up. Reverse warrior. Stretch your right side. Come back up to vertical. Lengthen out the right leg, triangle. This time, keeping the right leg as fully extended as possible. The left hip draws back in space as you reach your right arm forward. So as you tilt the torso forward, you're setting up for the triangle. So right hand to top of the shins to be less flexible. You can slide it further down if you have a little bit more flexibility. And of course, full pose, right hand to the floor, left arm up. So this is a triangle. From triangle into extended triangle, left palm to face down and reach forward, going for the left side stretch. Take it back up. Reverse triangle. Come back up to vertical. Turn the right toes to the left side. Now walk it in just a little bit as you need, right? If you're already in the perfect width and you feel nice and steady here, keep it here. However, if you went a little bit wide in your warrior and you came up and it's too wide for you, walk it in a little bit. So you want to measure out your feet. Your toes are turned in just ever so slightly. So you're slightly pigeon-toed and the heels are wider. When you do that, you get a little bit more extension through the outer legs. Hands to the hips for support. Lift the heart center up, lean it back to prepare the spine for the forward fold. Come back up to vertical. I like to bend the knees slightly. Hinge at the hips. Keep a straighter spine. And let the hands come down. Once your hands support it, you can lengthen out the legs a little bit more. Re-lengthen on the inhale with your torso. Keep that lengthiness. Bend at the elbows. Hinge at the hips and take it forward. Once you get to a certain point, inhale again. Exhale, forward fold even more. And let the head release toward the floor and forward folding here. So you want to keep grounding through the feet, outer heels and the outer leg, outer feet. And with that, you have a strong foundation to support the forward fold. As you release forward, you can hinge at the hips, draw forward, let the head release, let the head get heavy. If you want to shake it out side to side, you can do that. Just be very controlled how you shake and nod. Alright, let's come out of the pose. So with your hands supported, bend the knees, let the seat drop a little bit. Shift your weight back toward your heels. When you come up, lift the head and the upper back. So through that straighter spine, use the strength of the legs to come up, expanding the arms. Turn the right toes forward, warrior two. Reverse warrior, right arm up and back. Exhale, hands to the floor. Right foot stepping back to plank. Inhale, one breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, roll back, down dog. Left heel up, three-legged dog. Step the left foot forward. Crescent moon, right knee comes down. So take the padding as you need. If you don't need padding, right knee directly to the mat. Lunge forward. Get into the stretch of the right quads, right hip. Walk your hands on top of the thighs and lunge forward some more. Press your hands to your thighs. Lean the upper torso away from the thighs, especially your belly. Once you have a slight back bend, looking upwards in general, then you can take the arms up, Venus Mudra. With the arms alongside the ears moving back, moving straight up, moving forward. keeping the mudra, or keeping your arms extended and separating it in a wide position. All of those are very good options. Take the one that is most appropriate. Two more breaths. All right, let's break. Hands to either side of the left foot. Use your blocks as you need. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, lengthen over the left leg. All right, full extension if you have. Always optional to move your blocks a little bit lower, right? Or no blocks at all. All right, if you don't have any blocks, but you need some help, you can always bend your left knee a little bit. And just always think about, okay, as you're holding this pose to gain the flexibility in the hips and the lower back, also think about actively lengthen out the legs as far as you can go so you can work on that flexibility. Right? If you go too easy on the hamstrings in this pose, you'll never develop that hamstring stretch. You always want to go a little bit so that you can start working on something, right? So this time, I'm going to face you for that twist. Right? So when you're setting up in your pyramid, right? So your left hand should be closer to your left foot and your right hand should be a little bit wider. The reason is because if I brought that back foot forward, this is what it ends up looking like, right? That's a lunge, right? So if you brought the back foot forward, you should be pretty symmetrical, right? That's the reason why you have this placement, right? If you have both hands to the inside of the foot, you're actually leaning over to the left. So this is leaning center. All right, so this sets you up perfectly for the twist. When you bend your left knee over the left heel, you want to line up the knee over the heel, shoulder over your wrist, so that now you have about a foot's distance, right, between your right hand and your left foot. Keep that verticality, raise your left arm up to twist, right? You can always check, because we often end up doing that, right? Collapsing onto the side that we're twisting toward. Left hand back down, warrior one. Ground the back heel. Rise up. Warrior one. Open it up. Warrior two. Inhale. Reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Left arm to top of left leg if you're modified. Or the left hand directly to the floor, you can touch down. Right arm up. From the side angle into extended side angle. Take the right palm to face down and reach it forward to a diagonal. So you're going for a right side stretch. Inhale, take it all the way back up. Reverse warrior. Stretch your left side. Come back to warrior two. Lengthen out the left leg, triangle. Draw the right hip back, reach the left hand forward. The left hand can go to top of the shin. You can slide it down a little bit, or the left hand directly down, right arm up, triangle. Right palm to face down, reach forward, diagonal. Take it back up, reverse triangle, stretch out your left side. Come back to vertical. Turn the left toes, go with your right side, striving for a bend. So adjust your footing so that the width is a very sturdy width. Toes are pointing forward, with the toes slightly turned in, heels a little bit wider, hands to the hips. Lift up for the back bend, preparing the body. Come back to neutral spine. I like to bend the knees a little bit and then hinging forward. Let the hands come down for support. Once your hands are there, then you can lengthen out the legs. Re-lengthen your spine as well on the inhale. Exhale. Hinge at the hips, bend the elbows, and start to draw forward. You might need to take another breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Go even deeper. Let the head release. Let the head get heavy as you forward fold. Alright, now supporting with the hands again. Bend the knees as you drop a little bit. Shift the weight back toward your heels. When you lift the head and the upper back and through that straighter spine. Use the strength of the legs to come up. Expand the arms. Turn the left toes forward. Warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Exhale, hands to the floor. Left foot stepping back plank. Inhale, one breath. Exhale, push up, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Walk your feet forward, torque your hands. Take the seat down. Alright? So we're taking forward folds, Janu Shasana. So coming back to all the way at the beginning of class, right? Elevation helps you sometimes in some of these poses. So anytime you're sitting directly to the floor, if you're really tight and you're sitting down, it ends up forcing you to do this because you don't have the mobility, then it means it's time for you to elevate. Right? This time I'll use a block so you can see what that looks like. Right? Left hand down, right arm up, inhale, lengthen, exhale, tilt forward, grab the foot, ankles or your shins, whatever you can hold on to. Lengthen again on the inhale. Now, when we lengthen here, right, oftentimes we end up reaching with the chin. Notice that crunches the back of my neck, right? So if your torso is leaning forward at an angle, and that means if you look down toward the floor, then it brings your spine, your cervical spine, the back of the neck, the upper spine, back to being in line with the rest of your spine, right? So keep that relationship as you reach forward in this forward fold. Right? And then if you don't need your left hand for support, you can grab the other side of the foot. Now, the only tricky thing is, if you're elevated, right? If you have looser hamstrings, you might end up hyperextending, right? If you don't have tight hamstrings, you're going to end up bending the knees anyway, and you're not going to really have that problem because you just don't have the hamstring flexibility. But if you have the tight lower back and the hips, but you have open hamstrings, you might end up hyperextending here, right? Because you have this space, right? So this is going to be only if you're elevating with the unique situation of loose hamstrings but tight lower back, right? Which is kind of, it does happen, but it's just a little unusual. Then you might want to pad the back of the knee so that when you come forward, it forces you to keep a slight bending of the knee. Right? So that's what I was feeling. That's why I mentioned that. Because in my elevation, I feel like I'm hyperextending by pressing too hard to the knee. But for me, in order for me to not hyperextend, I can control it and ever so slightly bend it, right? But if you're the person who's not quite that aware of your body yet and you don't know how to do it, then this is how you can do it to force yourself to keep a slight bend to the knee. All right. Let's take it back up. Counter twist to the right to release your spine. Back to center. Switch legs. Right leg forward. Sole the left foot to the inner right thigh. Right hand to the floor. Left arm is up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Once you have the forward fold, realign your spine, right? Because chances are you've already rounded. So you want to lift the chest. Lengthen your spine without reaching forward with the chin, but neutral with the chin. And then forward fold from there. And then if you don't need your right hand for support, take it to the other side. And then again, if you have a unique situation of pretty loose hamstrings, but tight lower back and and the hips, in this forward fold, use the prop to help you keep safety with your knee joint. Alright, take it back up. Counter twist to your left. Back to center again. Extend both legs forward. With your hands to either side for support, slide the hands out so that you can lower onto your back safely. Once you're on your back, hug the left knee in. Twist to the right, so we were here earlier, but now we're taking it without the strap and just go for a simple reclining twist. Back to center, switch legs, switch arms, and twist to the left side. Back to center again, hug both knees in. Then step the feet to the floor, slide the legs forward, separating the feet, toes turned out, arms alongside, palms face up. Shavasana, final relaxation, let it all go. Beginning to draw your breath back in and start to move the fingers and toes, reaching the arms overhead, stretching in opposite directions, rolling over to the right side and come up to a comfortable cross-legged position. Reconnecting to an even seat, a lengthy spine, shoulders broad, breath deep. And let the neck be free. Inhale for arm. Hands together in prayer. Bowing forward, sealing the practice. Inhale, come up. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. Venmo is my preferred way of payment, and my handle is Simha Yoga Lab, and the 4-digit ID code is 8096. I stream on Instagram and Facebook, and the videos get uploaded onto the posts. And then also I upload the videos onto YouTube. That takes a little bit of time because I have to do the whole upload process. However, if you're not streaming with me and you're taking classes at any time during the day, you might actually go to YouTube instead because the audio and video quality is way better on there. Also, you can pull it up on your smart TV, so it might be a better option for those of you who are not streaming with me. So I recommend that if you want to take it. Okay, so thank you so much again, everyone. Be safe, be well. I will see you